Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Yes, this is 9 a.m. in the morning here in China, and you are watching the Let's Talk China show. Listen, I just want to explain to you guys, Alex was in for surgery yesterday, so I'll be filling in for him this hour and a half. Tell me how you guys are doing. Drop us messages in the side chat. We would like to respond to them and answer your questions. Before I start, I just want to address this super chat because this was kind of cool. Nice to see you back from your travels, Kurt. I'm sure he or she means Kirk. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We will get to all the super chats. That being said, today, if you have a question and you have a super chat, I would like to ask you, please write in your super chat the person on the panel you would like to answer the question. I think that will make it very interesting. So if you send through a super chat, assign it to either me, Cyrus, Lee from the Barrett channel, Kirk, or just anyone, maybe all four of us if you want. Listen, guys, it's awesome to see all of you here. First of all, go ahead, click that like button on all the channels. That helps us a lot. And we are so happy to talk to you today. And if you want to know what we're going to do on the show today, we have a proper show for you today. We're going to start off by talking about the consulate that was closed here in China and also in Houston. And that's why we made the title, Houston, We Have a Problem. We will be talking to Xiao from IChongQing, and we might just call Alex and Gio Nation because they are currently in Chongqing shooting video there. And later on, we will open up the mic for you guys. So you guys ask us whatever you want. We can go in any direction with the discussion. And yeah, like I said, if you want to send a super chat, remember to add the name of the panel member you want to answer the question. And after that, we're going to jump into live call-ins where you can call and join us live on the show. Now, without any further ado, let's bring up the panel. And we've got one cracking panel for you today. So I'm going to start off on my right. We have Kirk from Guilo 60. He's been off the show for a very long time. How are you doing, Kirk? How's things going?
Well, I've been traveling and stuff. So, I was up in Chongqing for a week. And before that, I was out on the Vietnamese border. And, it's just one thing after another. And today, I'm landed back in Nanning. So I'm here probably this week and next week. But that's as far in the future as I can plan things. It's just, it's been one thing after another, and being busy making a lot of content, a lot of parts unknown videos. And people that are watching my channel now have probably seen, I think, 4 or 5 ChongQing videos back to back. I think I've got another 3 or 4 of them coming up here in the next couple of days. I usually don't put one out on Saturday morning, just for the fact that we do these live shows on Saturday morning. Conflict with the shows. So starting tomorrow morning again, we've got some more stuff coming out, and basically that's what I've been up to.
Nice. Anyway, welcome, Guilo 60. Always good to have you on this panel. The people were asking for you like all the past shows. They're like, where's Guilo? And we needed to explain to them all the time. Listen, Guilo 60 will be back. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people very happy that you are back onto the panel. Let's move over to Cyrus. Cyrus, how are you doing, buddy? Where are you streaming from?
All right. Well, guys, I'm coming live at you today from Vancouver, Canada, and everything is good here. I'm in the area called Richmond. I'm in a city called Richmond, which has about 70% Chinese population here. So I often joke it's the Far East province of China. We've got a thriving, probably the biggest Chinatown you've ever seen here in Richmond.
Oh, wow.
Amazing place, fantastic food. And anyways, here and just had a good week. I've enjoyed this. Is my 3rd time on the show, so I've always enjoyed being invited back, connecting with you guys. And this past week I was busy. My last trip to Shanghai that I took, I did a business trip back there in October, and I'm just kind of going through those videos, believe it or not, just now. So I got a lot of content. But anyways, I'm going to be sharing some more stuff from my travels in Shanghai, just trying to show everybody. I used to live there for 7 years before, so it's a city close to my heart, and I look forward to sharing some more content. And happy to be back, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Yeah, awesome. There's something I want to tell you. in the past streams, people were asking a lot about this Cyrus Jansen.
Yeah.
They were like, listen, we need to get this guy back because he knows what he's talking about. So there's a lot of people out there watching you now, and they are seriously happy you're part of the panel.
I appreciate it.
Moving on to Lee Barrett, one of the pioneers here in China, a super cool channel. Lee, how you been keeping? Where you streaming from?
Morning, Jerry, and morning, everyone. Appreciate you all for joining us this morning. Yeah, so me and Ollie have been super busy the last 3 or 4 weeks. So we started off in Shanghai. We then were in ChongQing for 10 days. Pretty much almost immediately after that, Ollie went up to Xi'an, Qinghai, and Inner Mongolia. And during that time, I went to Chengdu. And then I got invited up to Changsha by Alibaba last week to and this was really cool. I went to this factory that makes sort of construction and earth moving equipment. And, you know, I had in my head that factories were not that sort of, you know, high tech here in China, but man, was I surprised. This factory was just unbelievable. And there will be a video coming about that. I got my first, or we got our first ChongQing video out yesterday, which has been received really well. It's doing pretty good. And we've got the next one on Monday. In all, we've probably got somewhere like 15 to 20 to release over the next sort of 2 or 3 months. And we might have a surprise for you guys sort of mid to late next week. So keep your eyes peeled to the channel.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, it seems like... Hey, Lee, I've been noticing you do a lot of streams outside, and people love that streams when you walk through the streets. Where did you do the last one?
The last one was up in Changsha. I did a walk around a food street, and like you say, I've been amazed at the response we get to those. I'm really pleased, and I feel so excited when I do them. It's so good interacting with people live when you're walking around, and that might be part of the surprise middle towards end of next week. So that's why I say keep your eyes peeled. We got something brewing, so.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. I would like to encourage you to go check it out. It's really fun walking around with Lee through the streets, and you know, he explains everything on the way, and yeah, it's just an awesome experience. Anyway, welcome. Good morning, panel. I just want to make it clear for people that just popped into the stream. Alex, Reporterfy Media and Travel, is out today. I'll be filling in for him today because he had an ear surgery, and we all on the panel wish him a speedy recovery. I think Alex may be back next week, and you guys can be rocking and rolling again. I want to go on and just, you know, say hi from my side, if I may. Hello, everybody. Listen, I want to say thank you to everyone in the side chat right now. I've been noticing there's a lot of people in Europe watching, and I know it's like midnight times over there right now. So I want to give a special shout out to Mark. Mark, thank you. He's such a pioneer on all the channels. He's watching us from the UK right now. Welcome. I see Miranda, that is Guilo's daughter. Hey, welcome. John 3512, hello from Hong Kong. Morning, Jerry and guys. Hey, good morning. Lucy, always good to see you. Joe Nix, damn. Lucky Barrett, envy. I'm sure he's talking about your travels. Anyway, guys, it's so awesome seeing all your beautiful faces here in the stream. Hey, listen, I think we can kick off the show by starting to talk about, and I'm sure Guilo cannot wait to talk about this, the closing of the embassy here in Chengdu, and also the closing of the embassy, the Chinese embassy over in America. Personally, I just think this is a this is a bad route that the countries are going, but I do believe China is responding in a proper way, because the closing in Houston for me was an absolute joke. Now, I want to bring up, before I go to the panel, I want to bring up a quick photo, an image that I want to show to the panel, and then we can start talk about it. So Wesley, if you can maybe bring up that photo for us, I think we can start talk here, because everyone knows that the 2 consulates has been closed in both sides of the countries. It's absolute nonsense, but I want to show you guys an image here real quick. Not that one, the other one. And we can start talk about that. Let's have a look over here, guys. So as you can see here, there were documents that was burned in this consulate. And this is obviously the one in Houston. So I think we're going to start right here. The reason I say the documents were destroyed is because it's a security hazard for China. You know, if there's a lot of visas lying around and it falls into the wrong hands, it's definitely a security threat. So I want to move to Guilo 60 on this one. What do you think of the embassy closing in Houston? And then I want to go to Lee.
Well, you know, I think that there's a, you know, Houston is not one of the major embassies in the United States, but it does house, you know, the Chinese government for 5 states in the United States. What this in fact does is if I'm a Chinese person, a Chinese national, and I'm over working in the United States, it would be nice to know that I have an embassy that I can go to if I run into problems, because an embassy is actually Chinese property in that country. Just like it would be a Canadian embassy in China or a U.S. embassy in China if you run into problems. So what they've in fact done is taken that away. You know, international law states that these embassies have a special privilege in that country. The United States, with assumptions and basically they just say something and that's it. There's no rule of law. They don't prove it. Nobody's charged. Nobody has you know, been found guilty. It sort of goes back to the same thing as what happened in Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction. Somebody says this weapon. Oh, they have this, and they go in and they you know, start a war with a country. They basically destroy that country because they say this, and then at the end of the day, it's not that. If just say Iraq was a bigger country and they actually won that war, they wouldn't be hauling Saddam Hussein out of a basement and hanging him. That would have been George Bush. You know what I mean? So the winner is always the person that gets to call all of the shots. And I think you've seen this through the United States, you know, on a regular basis, where they can pretty well do whatever they want because they've got 800 military bases around the world. They've got 400 that surrounds China alone. They can say this, they can say that, they can do things that they don't have to answer to anybody, and I think that that's a problem. Now China is the second largest economy in the world. China has 1/5 of the world's population. That's just in mainland China. That's not talking all of the Chinese people that have moved to all the corners of the world,
Right.
and still identify as Chinese. So I'm looking at this and saying, geez, you know, you've started an economic war with China. The rhetoric that comes out of people's mouths, like Mike Pompeo saying that, oh, we're just helping the Chinese people. We want the Chinese people to be free, the free world. They use those words. You know, they look at the Chinese government as a regime, but I don't know. Chinese government has done so much good for everybody in the country over the last 20 years, but you see, the problem is so large that just shutting down one little embassy here and one little embassy there, I think, is just one of the things that just escalates this thing between China and the United States, or China and the rest of the world. And the more it goes on, and if you say, they say espionage, those Chinese are, you know, they're committing espionage. Well, remember Edward Snowden? You know what I mean? Remember the United States spying on Angela Merkel, spying on Spain, spying on Brazil, spying not just spying on their enemies, but spying on their allies also. The idea that they were doing the same thing in Hong Kong out of their embassy. So why didn't China shut down the Hong Kong embassy? Why didn't Germany shut down the embassy in Berlin? Why didn't, and it goes on and on and on. So the Americans take it to the extreme when it comes to China. And I think they made a mistake with the Houston thing.
I think it is it's 100% the Trump administration that pushed this instead of all the Americans, to be honest. But I want to move over to Lee. Lee, I think there's a lot of people that want to hear you on this topic before I move over to Cyrus, and I'm leaving Cyrus for last because there's a lot of people finding him interesting. So Lee, can you fire away? What's your thoughts on this closures of embassies?
Yeah, so I've got a couple of points I'd like to make. The first point, that the reason that was cited by the US for closing the Houston embassy was mainly espionage. Now, that I don't know how long that embassy's been there, but it's been there for many, many years. And I don't think people need to kid themselves that it's just the Chinese who involve themselves in espionage. And I think that because of the status that diplomats who visit or reside in these embassies have, they're obviously the people to, move espionage and information around. And this happens in every embassy throughout, from every country throughout the world, because they have something called diplomatic immunity. So when they go through customs, their bags do not get checked and searched. So pretty much they can take anything backwards and forwards. And those embassies are also the ears and eyes on the ground in those foreign countries. So, for example, if the UK has an embassy in, say, Canada, there'll be diplomats there that are keeping an eye on what's going on in Canada, the same as Canada will have an embassy in the UK. They will have ears and eyes on the ground to see what's going on in there. So, I think it's ridiculous when the USA say, we're closing it because the Chinese were committing espionage. The US have one of the largest espionage operations in the entire world. And as Guelo just said, that was uncovered by Edward Snowden a few years ago. So it's just a joke. The reason the Chengdu embassy was closed was purely retaliation for the American move. I actually think China would have been better not to do that. However, the Chinese have to be seen to retaliate. Otherwise, America will just think they can do what they want to without any consequences. Now, my second point is I want to try and get to the real reason why America are attacking China in the way they are. And my belief on this is it's nothing to do with national security. It's nothing to do with espionage. And I think Pompeo sort of highlighted this in his speech. He basically said that, when we opened up to China, America was hoping to change China. What he really meant, they were hoping to install an American democracy-style government into China. And, that is just not going to happen. It was never going to happen, and it never is going to happen. And the reason they want to do that, because if you look at America, which has become controlled by the ultra capitalists, so if you look at things in America, whether it be real estate, whether it be, companies, whether it be land, it's all open to the highest bidder, and Chinese own a huge amount of farmland, property, even the politicians in America can be bought at the right price. And this is something America have not been able to do in China because China protects its interests. They don't let the Americans or anybody else for that matter come in and buy up companies that are strategically important to the country. They don't let them buy huge amounts of land. China protect their interests, whereas America and other Western countries are controlled much more by the ultra capitalists who, to be honest, anything is for sale to the highest bidder. So actually, this is not a problem that China have caused. It's a problem that America have caused. Yeah. And then you get on to, just 2 more minutes, you get on to then Trump is looking like he's not going to get re-elected. So he's becoming a very, very desperate man at the moment. I mean, this guy is a guy who tweeted out something a couple of nights ago that he now wants to try to delay the election. You know, this goes against the American Constitution. But he sees that he's losing and he wants to delay the election. Of course he wants to delay the election till they've tried to get on top of the disaster they've made of the COVID outbreak. You know, the COVID problem in America is nothing to do with China. It's to do with the incompetence of the US administration. So he's just trying to divert that now. He's trying to get into the heads of the American people that, oh, all this COVID problem is China's fault. When actually it's not China's fault. It's the fault of the US administration. So, you know, there's a lot of, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's just so many things that are wrong here. And America are just trying to create massive diversions to, you know, cover up their own incompetencies here. So that's my thoughts. I'd just like to say thank you for the super chats that have come in during my sort of speech. And we can move it on to Cyrus now because I've had my say on that.
Can I say something before you start, Cyrus? I'd like to say you know, welcome to the show. We've got Colin Broadcast is watching the show through my stream. So
Colin a Broadcast,
one of the big guys.
Nice one.
Yeah, I watch his stuff. He does really good stuff. No wonder he's got 1.4 million subscribers. And I'd like to say, Mike Loki, I think that's how it is. Thanks for the super sticker, and Kevin Williams. Nice to see you back from your travels, Kurt. Kevin always makes a super chat even before we start with the live stream. So thanks, Kevin. Always appreciated. Anyway,
thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we had a super chat during Lee's speech as well. Thank you so much for that contribution to the channel you support. That is greatly appreciated. Guys, do remember you can send in your super chats and just assign it to the panel member that you would like to ask a question or, you know, just want to talk to. That will make it so much easier. Listen, I want to move on to Cyrus. Cyrus, I want to get your take on this. And I think there's a lot of people out there that want to know, what is Cyrus thinking about this? So give us your best, brother. Tell us what you think about this closures of the consulates.
I'd love to. First, let me answer a couple of super chats. So we got Wong Tito from coming live in Germany at 3 a.m. Sent in a nice little super chat there. And also Ralph N. from I believe Hong Kong. So just want to say thank you guys for the support and everything. And yeah, absolutely. So, you know, this is something that's really interesting. So first of all, I do want to make a small correction. It is the consulate, not the embassy. And there is, obviously we know the difference there, but you know, the embassy is, you know, certainly in the capital city, consulates in the smaller and the other cities. And we have multiple consulates, just like we do. Americans have multiple consulates in China. There's multiple Chinese consulates, and the consulate is dealing with smaller affairs, a lot of immigration, you know, visas, etc., like that. So it's an interesting move. I agree with everything that's been said. It's certainly the United States. They're wanting to take a shot at China, and they're able to do that by closing a consulate. Obviously, closing an embassy would be a huge deal because that would essentially really sever the foreign relationship between the two countries. Consulate is just more like a slap across the face, if you will. Obviously, it goes without saying, you know, China's going to retaliate, and they did that in Chengdu, as we saw, which is actually a very strategic point for America, because that's really the whole western side of China is operated from, from Chengdu. So it was a great move from China to retaliate that way. This is something, though, that we see often, is that I always see is, you know, America is the instigator and China's always retaliating. So, and it just seems, you know, if, you know, tit for tat, right? If you're going to do this, I'm going to go back. Now, to answer some of those questions, we've established that it's a consulate. Now, it was actually established in 1979. So Lee, you were asking when was that established?
Yeah,
over 40 years. And
a long time.
A long time. And it's just ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous to just say, you know, this has been in operation for 40 years. But now, oh my gosh, now we have espionage and we have spying activity. Now, I mean, let's be honest. Does China have spies? Absolutely they do. Absolutely. What major country in the world doesn't have spies? I mean,
yeah.
Which major business doesn't have spies? Think about that.
I mean, does China have spies? Absolutely. But what is the CIA? I mean, that is literally, what is the CIA, right? I mean, it's the Central Intelligence Agency.
Spies.
That's literally what it is a network of spies,
The Central Spy Agency, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, and you're just living in la la land if we're going to deny that. I mean, of course, it 100% is. And, it's interesting. I watched Pompeo's speech and it's very interesting what's happening in America right now, because I have a lot of family, a lot of friends in America. Of course, I am from Florida, a state that is being absolutely hammered by COVID right now. And it's incredible, just what my home state is, my friends and family are going through, and they just can't, they can't actually believe what's happening in China. I told them that I don't know if you guys saw that the second quarter economy, China grew by 3%, U.S. down by 32% drop in the GDP, in the second quarter. I mean, it's absolutely getting hammered. Whereas China grew. I mean, China's right back to going, it has really, taken COVID. They've dealt with it. They've moved on. But a lot of it is it's government policy, but it's also the people as well. And I made a video about that, just about the culture of America. And we have a lot of things going on in America. The Black Lives Matter, the protests. There's so many different things that are going on. It's really a perfect storm that is really just a big wrecking ball to America right now. I think Donald Trump is in a lot of pressure. I believe that, this is why in March, he said it was the first time that he called it the China virus. And even one of my American friends messaged me and they said, I feel he's doing this on purpose now, specifically saying the China virus. And we see Pompeo every day. If you watch him on Twitter or if you follow the Secretary of the Department of State Twitter feed, every day they're just putting out, let's call it what it is. It's propaganda. It's just saying, America, we stand tall in the face of danger and all world threats. It's like, no, you don't. Look at what's going on in COVID right now. You guys have the worst response in the world. And, and it was amazing. He's just like, Pompeo, I think is just amazing how much hate he is causing up. I mean, we have in my hometown of Orlando, Florida, we had two Chinese dentists that this is in my hometown. Both of them are dentists, part of the community. They're Asian Americans. I mean, they're Chinese American citizens. Their whole lives are there. They've come out of their house and their entire cars, both of them completely graffitied, China, go back to China, just completely ruined both cars. And we've just seen this racism, increasing. And, it's becoming to a point right now where it's so dangerous for the United States to go down this route because of the type of, in America, what we have is just, we're just seeing this huge increase in racism. And it's amazing because what we're going to see is people are not going to want to come to America anymore. And we're not talking about just Chinese. Do you think Japanese or Korean are going to feel safe there either? I mean, all Asians are going to start to feel, threatened. And this is going to affect everything. America has been an amazing country because it's recruited talent from around the world. That's going to change tremendously right now. Chinese families have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars prepping their kids in SAT prep courses, basically trying to get to American universities. And this year, many of them are pulling the plug. It's like, we're not going there. It's way too much danger. We can go elsewhere, but we're not going to America. And I think I do want to, sorry for taking so much time, but I do want to follow up on Pompeo's speech that Lee had mentioned as well, when he was saying, we wanted to open up China. We wanted to open up China and install this form of government in this democracy.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
Well, it is a joke, but here's what I think the bottom line is I think that in America's eyes, they saw an opportunity back in the 70s. They said, look, we can open up China and we can manufacture in China. We can essentially use China to our advantage, which they did. What they did is they manufactured all of their products. And let's be honest, because of their relationship with China, the American dream has been made possible, right? But the issue is America has never looked at China as an equal. They always look to them as a secondary country. And now China threatens that. China is an equal, and it's going to be actually better than America very soon. And that is something that people cannot take in America. And that is why you have to attack them. And the other thing is, and this is my last point, and then I'll go, is, in America, we always have to have an enemy, and this is where, we see it's almost like Superman or Batman, right? It's not a good film unless there's an enemy involved. And so with America, you always have to have the enemy. We had the Soviet Union during the Cold War time. obviously during the 90s and 2000s, we had the weapons of mass destruction, the Middle East. There's no credible, enemy left except China. I mean, that's the only one that could actually be an enemy. So we're gonna make China our enemy. We're gonna go to war, and they're going down that path right now, and it's tough to see.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I want to move over to Lee. Lee had something to say on your point. I just want to say you're 100% right to that. America needs, like this villain that they need to fight against. I just think they are busy making a mistake. They are busy making a huge mistake. And I was asking this question a lot to people. What is the one thing that brings Americans together? The only thing for me is war. And
Yeah.
this is something they are playing with right now. And I think Americans have no clue. They are underestimating China and 1.4 billion people at the moment. Lee, you wanted to say something. I'm going to move over to you.
Yeah, just a couple of quick points. So that the first one is America needs a villain because so much of their sort of industry is based around creating weapons. And, a lot of those CEOs of those big sort of arms industry and sort of war machine industry, they're all sitting on these think tanks. A lot of those companies' factories are strategically placed in certain areas, of the US to get the vote, because they go, oh, if we do. So it's almost like that. Oh yeah, we need to fire cruise missiles at people, because if we don't use them, then the companies can't make more. So that's my first point. My second quick point is, Cyrus touched on that. America used China in those years, and I think up until very recently, there's been a mutual benefit with this massive trade between China and the US, because I think the US never thought China had become a competitor. Now they've become a competitor. The whole game has changed for America. It's like they're seeing their dominance, especially in certain technology areas and economic areas, being challenged, and that is scaring them to death, and they're sort of massively overreacting. And I think they're not just looking at the actual long term, whereas if they work together with China, both countries would continue to benefit, but they're just going on attack, and it's just so ridiculous.
Absolutely. Kurt, you want to respond to anything?
I agree, but after all of the rhetoric, cools down, and this consulate gets shut down, and this consulate gets shut down, and this person says this, and that person says that. In the long run, all these countries sort of have to work together. There's just no way to uncouple China from the rest of the world, because it's the manufacturing hub of the world. They've got the bucks, they've got the infrastructure, they've got the population, and they are going to be the big boy on the block someday. So there's really no way for the United States or what they call the free world. I feel more free in China, mind you, because, well, you can walk down the street and drink a beer. Try to do that in Orlando, Florida, or Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. They throw cuffs on you, throw you in the back of the car, and that's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, the rest of the world has to work with China, and China has to work with the rest of the world. The finances are linked. You can't build a Ford vehicle without Chinese parts, and you can't build, an airplane or a high-speed train. You can't get there from here if it doesn't have China involved in it. And that's just the way the whole world is linked together. So all of this rhetoric and stuff is basically what I think politicians trying to get reelected, and they just throw that rhetoric out there. Do I expect a war in the future? No, I don't think so. I don't think that they could. The difference between Iraq and China, well, one's a nuclear power and the other one isn't. Why didn't Russia and the States go at it? Well, because they're both. See, when it comes down to that last little decision, unless you've got some crazy mother in charge of a country, then, but you see, now we're talking. I don't want to trash out the States as much as we have here this morning, but when it all comes down to it, if everybody's thinking, without being nuts, this is all going to settle down, and in 10 years from now, the Americans will have another country that is the bad guy, and China will be the good guy. Why? Because China's got the money, China's got the population, China's got the manufacturing, all of these things. And the Americans, if they don't be friends and be nice to China in the future, they're going to be the ones that are losing. As Cyrus says, up 3%, down 32%. That says something. That is powerful.
Absolutely. You make a very valid point there, Kirk. Listen, guys, we are crashing through 1,300 viewers at the moment. I want to say thank you to each and everyone watching. Please do remember to go ahead and click the like button on all these channels. It helps us a lot. Listen, before I talk about this QR code on the screen, so by the way, you can scan it while I'm telling you something. I just got a WeChat message, and this is quite interesting. It is from, well, I have this guy on my WeChat, is Vanner Ghost, and he just sent me a 352 RMB contribution for the show, and he says 88 times 4. So this money will be broken up to all of us. This is a contribution from him, and he says he wants to send it through WeChat because he will not allow YouTube to take any money if he contribute to us. So I want to say thank you to you.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much to you, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate
that's
it.
really
Another
cool
bottle
of
of
you.
Joe.
Absolutely. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to contribute to the show, there's a QR code on the screen. You can scan it and you can contribute. And hey, if you want to ask a question, same as a super chat, you don't have super chats enabled on your YouTube, or you're in a country that you can't send super chats, make use of the QR code. Just let us know you have a question. Thank you so much, Kirk, for that opinion. Yeah, guys, I see there's some fiery comments going on in the side chat here. I think there's a lot of stuff that we need to cover, but people are pushing us into a direction, and I want to ask this question to the panel. Guys, I think Kirk said it now, but I want to ask this to the panel. Guys, do you think there will be serious issues coming from this consulate closures in the near future? I'm not talking far future, like near future. Serious trouble such as, I don't know, maybe really war. Maybe the Cold War turns so bad that economy is going off the charts. Is there anything in the near future that you guys see is happening from this? I'm going to start with Lee on this one.
Okay, so my worry here is that Trump is becoming a very, very desperate man. It seems to me that the administration in the US have got the American people thinking that they have COVID because of China. And if you look what's going on now, you've got America is sending a huge amount of Navy to the South China Sea. Even the UK are sending, I believe, their aircraft carrier to the South China Sea. Now, what my big worry is that a small skirmish starts off in the South China Sea that then escalates into a bigger thing, because I think Trump is so desperate to be seen to be attacking China, because I think he thinks that will win him votes. And I'm really, look what happened at the Indian border a few weeks ago now, because India and China sort of stepped back and looked at it, cool down a little bit, then it didn't escalate. But I can just see that a small skirmish in the South China Sea could escalate into something much bigger, because I don't think that the US would step back and cool down the way things are there at the moment. And that's a big concern for me, that's something that very small happens there could sort of, kick off a much bigger thing.
Now, you make sense. If you think about Trump, he always wants to be number one, right? He wants to be the best. He's got that narcissistic mindset that he always wants to be in the spotlight. He wants to be the best. He wants to be known for the rest of his life. If you think about it, maybe this is what he's up to. Because, I mean, what more wow can you do as Donald Trump than starting war with the second biggest economy country in the world? Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe Trump has got some tricks up his sleeve, but I want to say China is not that stupid. Again, do not underestimate the good hearts and the peaceful China. That's all I'm saying. Anyone want to take on this?
I'd like to make a couple of things. Colin Broadcast, thanks for the. He says appreciate the shout out, interesting stuff, and a super chat. Betty 520 super sticker. Thank you very much. Where am I here? Butterball, $5. Thanks, man. That's going to buy me. Well, you know, at Walmart, you could buy Pabst Blue Ribbon. I think there's 600 and some odd milliliters for 3.8 RMB. That's $5 in China is a lot of beer. And Jimmy Hu, buy yourself a beer. Thank you, man. Lee J. Let's all work tirelessly together towards world peace. You know, and I think if the leaders of the free world, the leaders of the communist world, the leaders of the dictatorship world, if all of these people had that in their mind and said, well, war isn't going to help anybody. It's not going to feed any poor children. It's not going to educate anybody. It's not. I don't get it. A warring country that into Syria, into Lebanon, into all of these places. And then she keeps poking the bear. It just makes no sense in this day and age when you've got mainstream media, and everybody knows what I think about mainstream media. They push the rhetoric of the political party that they back. Us as social media, we sort of have a voice in this now, which is I think is more important now than it has ever been in the past, because we are the people that actually live in a place like China where everybody thinks it's bad. They come to our channels and they look and they say, oh, well, Guilo's walking through a crowd at a restaurant on a balcony in ChongQing, drinking beer, his wife is eating lobster, he's eating German sausage, and tacos, and with a big red nose because he's got a glow on, and everybody's got a big smile on their face. See, that's what they don't see in the Western world. They only see what these mainstream medias give them, and I think that's wrong. And I think as channels like ours get more traction, reach more people, because if we reach somebody, Colin, this is for you, 1.4 million people, you could do a lot of good. Come on to our show, and maybe that would just boost it a little bit more, so we can show people what China really is. But not just China, people in YouTubers around the world. It's not what these guys say it is. There's always a way to twist it, and that's just it. The more we do these type of shows, the more we do our regular shows and show people exactly what's going on in our communities. Governments will be governments, no matter where you are. As Cyrus says, espionage is espionage. It's everywhere in the world. The governments want to get a leg up on the other guys. It's a competition. It's just like a bunch of companies, and they're vowing for those dollars, and so they're going to compete, and they're going to do whatever they can to get to the top, and that's just the way it is. But with that comes the rhetoric. With that comes the lies, the cheating, the stealing, all of that stuff that makes it a seedy, icky type of situation. And the more we portray the positive, the good side, I think is where we should.
Thank you for that, Guilo. Yeah, Cyrus. Before I go to you, basically, I think, listen, we're coming up to the 44 minute. We are 44 minutes busy with this already. I just want to make it clear. We basically don't go up against any country. This is just happening right now. And I think, it's just insane how the Western media, and I'm talking about media in particular, trying to push a narrative on towards China, a biased narrative, and on our channels we are just trying to show you guys that it's not really true. It's not really that we're against any country or so on. It's just absolute bias from media, and you'll have to subscribe to each of us to go check it out for yourself. I believe the more options you have on your table, the better conclusion you can have, or the conclusion you can draw for yourself. I want to stop it right here with the consulate, but I do want to give everyone on the panel their last say on this consulates that's been closed. And this time I want to start with Cyrus. Cyrus, do you have a final take on this consulate that was closed, either in Houston or in Chengdu?
Yes, let me just answer just give a shout out to some super chats here really quick. Got Norman Tan, thank you. DHG1234, also thank you for those donations. And we've got Wanesh came in saying, yeah, it's every Chinese knows the American imperialism never gives up to destroy us. From Mao, maybe Mao is right. I think, and then also Good Life, again, always a great supporter. Thank you, Good Life, for, always supporting me and coming on the stream. So I just want to say, to follow up what Jerry's saying, we're not attacking really anybody in particular. I'm American, and I do love America. There's so many great things about that country of America. And I think when I'm talking about America, the Houston consulate and things that are going on, many Americans are frustrated right now. We're frustrated with the government. We're frustrated with this, election, the COVID, the economy. Right now we have 40 million Americans that are unemployed. We have 28 million Americans that are potentially facing eviction in the next couple of months because they're not going to be able to make their mortgage payments. I mean, these are massive problems right now. And what just really hurts me is I just do not like to see the racism and the hate towards a country that we have benefited from for the last 30 years. And so I think, like one of the things that I always preach in every single one of my videos is that, China or the world works better when China and the US can work together. And I think that's something that all of us on this panel would agree with, that we're certainly hoping to see. America, there's so many great things about it. But a lot of it has to come to do with, with these people. And I'm glad that we have channels that, that are challenging the narrative. This is the great thing about social media, that we can start a channel, start a show. I think right now the tit for tat for the consulates, that is going to be what it is. I don't think that there's going to be a huge escalation. I would say the one thing that I worry about is Taiwan. I think that's going to be a very big issue. We talked about the presence in the South China Sea. I do believe that, if we do have a situation where we potentially have some battleships there, the US and the Chinese, and they're around Taiwan, someone might get trigger happy, throw something. I mean, it could be, something along those lines would kind of say my worst case scenario or my biggest fear. And that could potentially happen. I don't think we're it's 2020. We're not going to go into a full-on war, with China. That's just going to knock the entire world down, So anyways, what we're trying to do is just help people better understand China and just try to hopefully bring more people together. So that's all I have to say. Absolutely. Thank you for that one. I want to move over to Lee here. Lee, do you have a final thought on the closures of the consulates?
I do, but just quickly before that, I just want to address a few super chats. So, sure. Trevor Norman, Lee, what do you think about Huawei becoming #1 for phone handsets despite Trump not liking the company? Yeah, well, they've seen quite massive growth, and I think a lot of that is due to the Chinese people getting behind them. They have overtook Samsung because Samsung has struggled due to COVID. DHG1234, Microsoft's in talks of buying TikTok. So is it really about national security or just wiping out competition? It's absolutely about wiping out competition. Cyrus over on his channel has got a really good video that he did about TikTok. So go and check that out. He explains it very eloquently over there. So go check it out. Karen Shen, hi Lee, this is for all ChongQing videos in the future. And please, how do you think the US dollar in the future? What I think about the US dollar, I think they are very lucky at the moment that they're in a position that US dollar is a reserve currency. That enables them to print almost unlimited amounts of money without having a massive effect. Although I do think in the future that sort of dominance of the US dollar will start to get threatened. And a super chat of Duke Lung, thank you very much for that. A super chat of Li Yang, thank you very much for that. And okay, so like Cyrus, I'm hoping that it doesn't escalate anymore with the embassies. It would be sort of the consulates and all the embassies. I think it would be ridiculous if, we ended up where, China had no US embassies and the US had no Chinese embassies. That would just be, a massive inconvenience for so many people. I really hope it doesn't escalate any further. I'm pretty sure China won't act to close consulates or embassies in China. The concern is if Trump feels that he needs to attack China even more, if he closes another one, then China will do the same. As I said earlier, my big worry is that with all these sort of navies sort of congregating the South China Sea, that the tension will be very, very high there. And as Cyrus said, if somebody sort of gets a little bit trigger happy, it could start off something that could escalate into something much bigger. So I think that's a big concern for me.
Okay, cool. So Guilo, I just saw a super sticker or a super chat where people said Guilo 60 for president. So let's hear Guilo 60 being president. Take this away. Give us your final thoughts.
That was Travel Hawk. Thanks for the super sticker. Guilo for president 2020. Wow, being a Canadian, that's just not going to work, man. but thanks anyway. I do drink a lot of American beer. I did live in the States for a while, and as Cyrus says, yes, the United States has lots of good. But I can see where you're frustrated with your government. The Canadians are frustrated with their government. There's some Chinese that are frustrated with their government. There's some people in Taiwan that are frustrated with their government. Whether it's federal, provincial, a municipal government, there's always frustration, and that's why, everybody, you can't, what they say, you can't please everybody, and that's just the way it is. Oh, Francisco Rivera, thanks for the super chat. Trump is anti-American. He is destroying the country, manipulating the American people, blaming everyone for everything around him. War could be next. Well, Francisco, I have to disagree. I don't think they're going to go into a war. You can't really go into a war with a country the size of China and a country the size of the United States. It would basically devastate the entire world. You want to put everything back into the Stone Age, and with nuclear weapons and stuff, that is quite possible, because I don't think any of these countries would accept defeat. And so we don't even want to go down that road. And I think level heads will prevail, even if there is a skirmish in the South China Sea. And I see the amount of hardware and ships and whatever that they're putting in the South China Sea. And I've made a video about that. What if China did the same thing in the Gulf of Mexico? It's just, I think it's a posturing. I think it's the bully sticking his chest out, saying I can do this and I can do that. You really don't want to do that, because China is that little kid that's going to be a big kid in the future. So it's like bullying somebody that in 5 years that kid that was bullied is going to be bigger than you, and he's going to come and kick your ass. You know what I mean? Oh, and Tommy G, thanks for the super sticker. So yeah, I think that. In the next, but then again, I was going to say in the next couple of years, you're going to see things settle down. But if Trump gets back in again, I think you're going to see it ramped up even a little bit more, because it's the trade wars, and they're stealing, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Before the Trump administration was in there, it was a different world out there. So I'd like to see it go back to that different world the way it was before, and I think that hopefully after November it will.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my thoughts, I also think I agree with everything you guys said. I just want to leave it at this, right? Before I do, I wanna bring this on the screen real quick. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's been questions in the side chat for the QR code for people that just jumped into the stream. We're on our way to 1,500 viewers. Thank you so much. You can contribute to the show via a QR code, WeChat QR code. And here's the code. You guys asked for it. Please make use of it if you want. My thought is I do agree with each and every one of you. I personally think the closing of the Chengdu embassy was not just a tit for tat. I think this was a well thought through plan, actually. And I think the US didn't see this one coming. So I kind of think that after these two closures, both countries, they will see, listen, we can't play this kind of games with each other anymore. This is going to become something serious. So I think it came up to this closures of the two consulates, and now it's just going to be as it is. It is what it is. I do not think things are going to go more crazy from here on, but that is just my opinion. Don't quote me on it. I do hope this happens because I want peace, same as everyone on this panel. We want peace and fair treatment of China, and that is it. So anyway, guys, listen, I want to move on to a little bit a happier topic, if you will. I enjoy the politics one, but I think we're going to enjoy this one. The reason why... the reason why is because we will invite a very beautiful young woman onto our show. She's well known on the show already. Her name is Xiao from IChongQing. Now, there are guys currently in Chongqing filming their life away. The Barretts have been there. Guilo 60 has been there. Apparently, they're having a blast. But I want to bring on Xiao from IChongQing that she tells us what's going on in Chongqing. Let's see if she's online. Hi, Xiao. Are you there?
Yeah, hello. Hi.
How are you doing? You look,
Hey,
Hello.
you look
Hello.
very beautiful
Nice to be
today,
here.
Xiao.
Thank you. The day just starts here.
Nice. Can you tell us what's happening over there in Chongqing?
Yeah, like pretty weather. Everything is fine. And yeah, I'm Xiao, currently based in Chongqing, let's say, in Chongqing of
Nice.
China. And we see like sometimes people say Chongqing from like other countries. Many people don't know, but some people know. Will sometimes describe it like a hidden metropolis in China or secret metropolis in China. Yeah, it's like a mountain area. This city actually is quite interesting because built among mountains. You can say that. And I know like Barrett, Guilao, and currently Alex Absolute and the Jiayu Nation are here. Like they're touring around, yeah, and yeah, just like to show great videos, vlogs about the city. I'm from IChongQing, a English platform that you can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, different website, and we are provide like interesting stuff, sceneries, travel, culture thing, and also interesting news happening every day in this city. Yeah. And we just, like past a few weeks, I have met Barrett and also with Lee and Oli, right? And here, and we have great time here. And
We did.
Yes, and good. By the way, it's so nice to see you here. Like it's different. I don't feel different. Yeah. A very nice, very nice different here.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. I want to start here with Lee. Lee, is it true that she says that Chongqing is such a cool city? Can you maybe go ahead, because you and Ollie, you guys have been there. Can you maybe run us through what's happening over there? Please go ahead.
We released our first video yesterday, and if you go and watch that, you'll see our reactions. It just blew me away. I've been coming to China for 12 years, and I'd heard the name Chongqing, but I never really paid that much attention. People assume the big cities in China are, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Beijing, Shanghai. And, we'd sort of heard, I'd seen Alex's from Reporterfy Media on Chongqing, and I thought, wow, this looks a bit cool. I need to get myself there. So through Alex, Alex at Reporterfy Media organized with IChongQing for some YouTubers to go there to see the city. And when we arrived, man, it is just off the planet cool. It's like the most kind of cyberpunk city I've ever seen. It's just hard to explain. It's a city that is very mountainous. Now, if you go to the west, architects and construction companies there go, oh no, it's just too difficult to build on. But this hasn't fazed the authorities and the governments in Chongqing. They've gone, look, so we've got a mountain here. Oh, we'll just build on it. And there was one building. We went into the ground floor, And we took the elevator up to level 11, and the other side of the building was still at ground level, because they've built this building into a mountain. And it's not just that one, there are lots of them. And they've put infrastructure to get to small areas of ChongQing, you know, spent millions of dollars putting tunnels, 6 kilometer, 8 kilometer long tunnels, massive bridges to get all the of ChongQing connected so they can do business and commerce. Man, it just blows your mind. It's like being in a film. It really is absolutely amazing.
Oh wow! Okay, Guilo, Guilo, I want to move over to you. Tell us, is there still beer left in
they had to send another beer truck, I think, down to Chengdu to restock after I left. But you know, I didn't expect ChongQing. You know, the sky line of the city is amazing. As Lee says, it's all built on mountains, and when the lights come on at night, you can see the size of this city is huge. But the way that they've set it up, and I think that's what I show in my videos more than anybody else, is that, you know, the lives of the people of the city, because it is a over 30 million person city. Not all in the urban area, but in the surrounding area. So it's huge. But they've not only made the infrastructure and the sky trains and the subways and all of the bridges and all of the high rises and stuff. So they've modernized the city, but they've kept that ChongQing hometown vibe. You can go to the wet markets, you can go to the food streets, you can hit the parks, and the people are exercising in the morning, playing musical instruments, playing cards, the dancing aunties, the museums. It's just one of those places that I really didn't expect. And just like Lee, I heard of ChongQing. I didn't really know anything about the city, and I didn't really study up on it before I went, because I wanted it all to be new. I did watch some of Alex, and yes, Alex from Reporterfy Media. He is the reason why all of the YouTubers are getting a chance to go to ChongQing. He's a master at putting things together. He's really good at stuff like that. So thanks to Reporterfy Media for the week that Wei Feng and I spent making videos in ChongQing, and thanks to IChongQing for sponsoring the trip there. But I learned a lot about that area of China, especially the hot food. My God, more than that, some of the stuff, it's like, that I just drank more beer and the Gui Lao style, you know what I mean?
Nice.
But yeah, the city is an amazing place, and if anybody ever travels to China and doesn't go to ChongQing, they're missing a big part of China, because I've never seen so many beautiful girls in one place in my life.
I was waiting for
serious.
that one.
Say the most beautiful girls in China come from ChongQing. Don't tell my wife I said that. I don't think she's around.
Listen, I have a surprise. I have a surprise for you guys. I'm gonna bring in two guys that are currently in ChongQing. These guys are busy filming, so I'm bothering them right now. So I ask you, so sorry, Matt and Alex from Alex Absolute and IChongQing, but I'm gonna bring them on, and let's see if it looks like they are here. Let's just see if they can hear us. I think we're gonna get them in now. They are busy driving on a way to go film. So
yeah, actually, they yesterday just back from because they went to Fengjie County to see the heavenly pit, like the big sinkhole, and the Three Gorges area. Yeah, that's where Lee also been there, right, with Ollie, and
that was fantastic.
Yeah, like you did. They also took very nice drone footage of the grand view of the Three Gorges there, and the sinkhole, like they are at the bottom, and took that grand magnificent pictures of that area. Yeah. And by the way, because I heard Kirk and Lee also mentioned when you come, your impression, because I'm now live here, I sometimes don't feel surprised about the things around me. But what I heard from Kirk and Lee is you talk a lot about, there are mountain area, but just people just go through to build road to get connected, and there are river and build bridges. I think that can be with some of the locals' personality. It's very straightforward personality. If there is problem, just go and solve it. Like there's mountain, just dig a tunnel, or and there's river to build. There are a lot of bridges in the city because the Yangtze River goes through it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of
Cyrus,
just it's kind of just normal for you, isn't it, Zhao? Because it's kind of what you're used to. You see it every day, but
That's
for some
true.
Westerners, it's just it is impressive,
Yeah.
Hey, we've got the
Okay.
we've got the ChongQing crew on the line. I'm gonna bring them right up in the stream. Let's bring them up. The ChongQing crew, Matt from Gio Nation, and in the back you see Alex Absolute. Look at that.
Oh, it's just
Go
a
ahead,
tunnel.
gents.
A tunnel there. Let's go.
There's no guarantee this is going to last, guys. We got tunnels and tunnels and tunnels of through the mountains of ChongQing. So
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. How are you guys doing? Where are you guys going?
Hi guys.
we are going. Hey,
How's it going? We're heading back to the main central area of ChongQing. So we've been out in Fengjie County, which is like 4 or 5 hours drive out from the city center.
Awesome, gents. Hey,
It's been an intense couple of days. I feel broken after yesterday.
yeah, we went to Heavenly Pit yesterday, so it was quite fun.
That's what was it you said, Jim? It's the equivalent of going down, climbing up the
2 times the Chrysler building. Yeah.
up
Apparently, Matt ran back up. Is that true?
Well, I did carry a bunch of other people's stuff, so as people started, I was the Sherpa. I was the resident Sherpa.
15-kilogram backpack with a camera gear, a DJI Ronin S, which, if you know what that is, it's one of the heaviest gimbals on the market, a drone, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It was insane. It was intense. We got the shot, so it's all right.
hey guys.
Jeez Louise, this is the longest tunnel. Look at this tunnel. It just keeps going and going.
Wow. Hey guys, listen, it's awesome having you on. Listen, can you tell us something about ChongQing? What is your coolest moment so far in ChongQing? Let's start with Matt and move over to Alex. Your coolest moment till now in ChongQing.
Well, there's a lot of cool moments. I thought dinner when Alex was getting sloshed on Baijiu, that was pretty damn cool. That guy
No,
drinks Baijiu
Alex.
like I drink Kool-Aid. I don't understand how he does it. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Spicy hot foods. You know, ChongQing is known for ChongQing is known for spicy foods and a lot of ma, which makes your mouth numb. So it's not typically a spice that I allow into my life too much, but I've made exceptions and I'm happy for it because it's been nice. We've had a lot of good food here. Oh, out of the tunnel.
Awesome. Let's move over to Alex Absolute. Alex, what's your favorite moment over there, buddy?
Pretty much all of it, really. All of the scenes we've seen, seeing the real life scene of the Three Gorges from the 10 RMB note, that was pretty cool. Going to the top of there was pretty good because we got to go in the car for most of the way. That was the day after I had the fun Baijiu night where I drank God knows how much. That was fun times. And yesterday was pretty good. Heavenly Pit was amazing.
The Heavenly Pit was
super
nice.
Beautiful. We've got me and Matt have been going through drones, batteries like crazy. I've shot hundreds of gigabytes of footage. It's there's just so much to see and do. It's been kind of hectic because we've been like going here, going there, going here, going there. But yeah, pretty much everything so far. The city's really cool. There's so much more to do, so much more to see.
As a sneak preview of what content we're going to do, there were a lot of flights that his drone wasn't connecting, but mine was, and there were flights where his drone wasn't connecting, and or vice versa. And so we're going to be sharing a lot of footage. So like the best shots, we're going to be sharing a lot of stuff, and so some of Alex's style will be in my vlogs, and some of my vlog style will be in his episodes. We're gonna do a bunch of interesting things. And we have our friend Jim here. Jim is a photographer. He takes
cool.
pictures. Fantastic photographer, specializing in film. So he has a bunch of film cameras, and he's been dragging them down into all sorts of. He didn't take it down into the Heavenly Pit, but he's been taking it around. So it's going to be some interesting content coming out from us.
Yeah,
in the next
like
while.
a bunch of poops. That was fun.
Yeah.
Figured out how
Well,
to
thank you.
turn it in sport mode, and so it didn't have the sensors and flew it through some quite tight places. That was fun.
He's getting good.
Well, awesome, gents. Hey, listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just want to check in on you guys, and you boys have a good time. We miss you here on the show, but you guys enjoy yourselves, yeah?
All right.
Okay,
See you guys.
We might have,
Take care,
we
guys.
may have
guys.
yeah, no worries. Take care.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
I was just saying, Matt, we may have a surprise next week, huh?
We might have a surprise.
Oh,
Yeah, so
You guys are having a
we
baby.
might.
Yes, it's a boy.
Maybe.
Nice. Listen, guys, have a good one. Drive safe and send that pictures. We want to check it out on your Instagrams and your Twitters and everywhere. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So beautiful.
Look at the siphon.
My
That's the
God.
best thing I hear, look.
Yeah, now I think they are dragged back to downtown Chongqing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
we're going
5
back to
hours
Chongqing.
drive. Yes, 5 hours drive, I think, around that time.
5.
It's good weather.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much
Bye,
for
guys.
popping in. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye. Wow,
Take care.
that looks super cool, Shao. Listen, I'm sitting here on my chair, and I want to get onto an airplane right now into that city. It looks that cool.
Yeah, why not?
It looks really, really cool. Cyrus, do you know anything about ChongQing, buddy?
You know, I've just been to Chengdu. I've spent some time in Chengdu. I haven't had a chance to go to Chongqing yet. So I'm looking forward to when the world is open to travel again and I can get back. I was supposed to be in China right around this time if, I wasn't stuck here in Canada. But, soon enough we'll be back and I'm coming right to Chongqing because all this videos and content looks amazing.
Absolutely. Look, I never knew.
And, I understand that comment, being stuck here in China. It's every time I actually go to China and I see things going on, or to Canada and I see things going on in China, I feel like I'm missing something.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing with you, Cyrus?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. I mean, I think, what's nice is when you're in a place like Canada, it's a very stable place. And it's funny when you say, you talk to the Chinese. I mentioned earlier, I'm in Richmond right now, where there's a tremendous amount of Chinese people here. And it's so funny, even, the 30 or 40-year-olds that come here and even the 50, 60-year-olds, everybody's just like, man, I just miss China. There's just so much, more action, it's a lot, 很热闹的, that's what they always say, it's just like lively, very, very lively, a lot of action. And, here's just stable, comfortable. But I mean, China, you just never know what you're going to expect. I think that's what draws us there as expats. We love it there. And yeah, I miss it. I can't wait to get back.
Adrenaline junkies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, Shao, how can people find you again? Do you just want to let us know? Because I think if there's a lot of people watching now and they are interested in ChongQing the way I am, they can visit your websites, they can get hold of you, and I suggest they get themselves into that city because even me, I never knew that ChongQing even existed. But after watching all these guys' video, I was like, wow, there's a mega city, a secret mega city with 30 million people in it right here in China, and that just grabbed my attention. But I want you to let us know, how can the people find you and get themselves into ChongQing?
Well, actually, like at the bottom of the screen, right, there's like IChongQing. That's the channel we are running about, like, to introduce information about Chongqing. That's also where at the very first place where how Alex get access to us, like through YouTube IChongQing channel. We posted a lot like travel guide episode of vlogs that I did and my colleagues did, like about Chongqing, and constantly like update. And then we also report about like the some news, what's going on in the city, in like daily happenings here, interesting things. So through our channel, actually the audience can know, okay, the interesting part about Chongqing, like tourism, culture, and also like how a Chinese city here, like what's going on, what the people are doing here, what news, what activities are happening here. So a lot of stuff. We're very dynamic in content on our channel. And about getting to Chongqing is so easy, it's so easy. Like there is like international flights. I mean, like of course, I think after epidemic, right? After epidemic, like they just take like their direct flight to Europe, to just like different continents. Their direct flight go here because it's the economy here in Chongqing is also quite ranked among the top places in China. So don't worry about these facilities. It's quite international also. I think that in that case, whether this city is ready to accommodate Westerners, I think Kirk and also like later maybe Lee can have a say on that, because they experience that. They can match that to the standards of international standard to have a say of that. So Kirk, how will you say about that? Like, is it ready? Is Chongqing ready?
Well, definitely. Chongqing's been ready for a long time, so the amenities are probably better than any Western city that I've ever been to. The hotels are nice, and one of the things that I really noticed about Chongqing is that it's not that expensive. I'm sort of a stickler for being a retired guy. Oh, how much do I have to spend? I take out my change. But the idea that hotels are inexpensive. You go to the wet markets, the food is the same. I was curious about how much, because it's a mega city, it's supposed to be really expensive to buy property there. No, it was about the same as Nanning City, just change from a tier 3 to a tier 2 city, and property values were about the same. To rent an apartment in a place. So if you're deciding that you want to go to Chongqing for a winter or a year or 3 or 4 months, you can get into a place and it's very inexpensive as compared to places like other tier 1 cities, other mega cities, other the size of Chongqing, Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin are at least 2 or 3 times more expensive. So if you want to go to a mega city that has everything, the skyline, if you want Western food, you got Western. You want craft beers. I tasted the best craft beers I've ever tasted in my life in Chongqing, and I'm a beer connoisseur. Like I love my beer. Everybody knows that. But all of these things combined, from great infrastructure, good prices, getting around. I made a video just about getting around Chongqing because, from the subway systems to the DD drivers, to the buses, to the cabs, to the, even the cable cars and the elevators, and all of these things are part of getting around. So it's easy to get around. It's, so it just goes on and on. It's one of those places where, I'm definitely going to be going back to Chongqing just because it is one of those places that you cannot see it in a week. We just scratched the surface.
Nice. Thank you. So Lee, basically, Shao was asking you to share something about Chongqing. You want to take it away, or Shao, you want to ask the question again?
Oh yeah, it's like because also people. I mean, like the people, foreign friends watching may consider whether this city is easy to travel, accessible, or something like that. Lee has been here, right? And you experience, and you already match it, compare it with the international standards. So it's just like want you to have a share on how do you think Chongqing is ready for foreign tourists or not, like that.
I do, yeah. I mean, I think. I slightly disagree with Kirk on some of the hotels. I'm not a big fan of Chinese food at breakfast time. And I would say probably 30% of the hotels I've been in there don't cater that well for a Western style breakfast. All the international hotels do a great job. Some of the smaller hotels need maybe just to sort of get a few more croissants and things like that. Transport is amazing. I mean, the taxi drivers in there, oh my God. They are like so on the ball because the roads around the city, it's kind of like driving around a racetrack because the roads are sort of windy, bendy, they're on a hill, but the transport is so easy. The people are amazingly friendly and helpful. And I was even quite surprised how many people in Chongqing actually spoke English. I had a lot of people come up to us who just wanted to kind of practice their English. They have some amazing tourist destinations. We've already mentioned Heavenly Pit, the Three Gorges Peak. They've got rock carvings in Dazu, which are just, they have a particularly special carving in Dazu that they spent a lot of money renovating, and it's the Thousand Hands Buddha. And when you see that, it just blows your mind. And they also have a really impressive museum there. I mean, definitely, you can now get a 144-hour visa at the airport, I believe, when you come in. And I tell you, you can easily fill that time with things to do. And I think Kirk just says, you know, we were there 10 days, and 10 days was just nowhere near enough. And in fact, you know, we need to definitely go back there because there's so much I still want to do. It is such a chilled city compared to like Shenzhen or Shanghai, which is a lot more sort of busy and people are rushing here. They're so chilled and laid back in ChongQing. Just amazing. Yeah, absolutely. If you come to China to visit, you definitely need to put ChongQing on your list of places to see.
Okay, awesome. Listen, I wanna Shao, before we say almost goodbye to you, I want to go over to Cyrus because Cyrus has got some things to do. Cyrus, do you want to tell us what you are up to this week before I let you go? What are you up to this week? You know, just final thoughts on China in general, and just give us a little bit of a Cyrus Johnson move over there for the next, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes, and tell us what's happening on your channel, please, buddy.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you guys again for having me on the show. I'm going to dash in a little bit after this, but I always appreciate the invite to come on the show. I love talking about China with you guys. I just really feel that we're, you know, helping people better understand, you know, what's really going on in China. I've got some big things planned for the month of August. You know, I really want to start ramping up my video production on my channel. I've got a lot of things going on. I've got 3 young kids. I've got a business that I have here. You know, so the YouTube is you know, is a passion project for me, but I'm really going to take it up a notch here. So I'm going to be editing some videos of my recent travel to Shanghai. I'm going to be sharing those as well, but I'm also have a couple other topics. I've had a lot of people reach out to me on Twitter. They really want me to do a video on Xinjiang. So I've been gathering a lot of good information about this. I'm going to be doing that. I also have a video that I'm making about Secretary of State Michael Pompeo. You know, and I'm always trying to bring, you know, a little bit of perspective in, you know, especially I think from what I see is, you know, a lot of Americans, unfortunately, and I always say this, unfortunately, they don't get the chance to travel to China, you know, and I think, you know, I've had so many times, you know, when I was living in China for over 10 years, I had so many friends come and visit me, and it was awesome because every one of them wanted to come to visit China because I was there. At least they knew somebody. As soon as they came, I mean, their eyes were completely opened, and it's like, wow, nothing is like we thought it would be, you know. And it's always fun to kind of help people understand, you know, the better part of China. So anyways, I'm just going to be ramping up my videos. I'm instead of doing 1 video a week, I'm hoping to start doing at least 2, and then shoot for 3 if I can get that done. So anyways, I'm just going to be, you know, I'm pretty active on Twitter, taking a lot of questions and, you know, a lot of support and feedback from there. So just want to be, you know, creating more content and hopefully be back on the show again soon. So again, thank you guys for everything.
Cool.
Take care, Cyrus.
Everyone.
Thanks,
We're
Cyrus.
gonna let you go. We're gonna let you go. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, sir.
Thank you,
Always
sir.
good having you on.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
Hey, listen, Shao. So we are almost done with you. Also, I just wanna ask you a question. Listen, is it easy to get into ChongQing right now? If people are interested, I just had a message in my side chat. People are asking us if they are in China right now. Is it easy for them to get into ChongQing, or do you guys have very strict laws over there regarding the virus now?
I think now it's like if you are in China, and you are not from that it's like usually I think no problem. I mean, like Kirk and Lee and also Jayo Nation and Alex Absolute, they come just recently and there is no problem for the. I think there must be some make sure information like the health code to make sure that you are okay like that, right? For the time before, and I think arrive here should be no problem within China, and that's what I saw like Kirk and Lee as well as Jayo Nation, like they arrived here quite smoothly, I think. Even like you can check in, but necessary measures are still, you know, the check-ins are there.
Oh, okay, cool. So, hey, listen, I want to ask you a final question before I let you go. Are you ready for this one, Zhao? Xiao,
Like,
are you ready
what
for this
kind
one?
of, don't frighten me. What kind of question? That sounds like.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, listen, we all gonna go to ChongQing because you guys made it so cool. I'm seriously so keen on going. There's a lot of people in my side chat. Even my wife wants to go there right now. Everyone just want to go to ChongQing. But I have a question for you. Who's your favorite YouTuber you got in ChongQing so far? Come on, Charles, let us know.
That's unfair.
That's not fair. She's got to pick me.
The all together, because now currently we have like five or six already, but we have more to come. Can you ask me that question? At the final.
That's right. I will do that. It's actually a joke, but yeah. Okay, cool. Listen, I've heard everyone is just having a blast. So before I let you go, Lee and Guilo, both of these guys have been there. Do you have a final thought on ChongQing for us guys? Who want to start first?
Go on, Kirk.
Let's take it away, Guilo.
It's a beautiful city. It's a Chinese city that just is China in its own way. See, I think until 1997, it was part of Sichuan province, but now it's its own place. It's brought a lot of that Sichuan province, especially in the food, with it, but it's grown bigger, better on its own. As I said, the skyline, the infrastructure, just the modern, just how modern it is. And it's the only mega city on the west side of China. The rest of them are all along the east coast. So to have that in a place like it is in the mountains is it's unique. It's one of those places that you're not going to get anything like that anywhere else in the world. ChongQing is ChongQing.
Nice. Thank you, Lee. Take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I pretty much echo what Kirk says. I mean, it is an amazing city. There's a lot going on. It's very vibrant. There's a great vibe going on there, whether you're young, whether you're old, it doesn't matter. There's so much to do. And, even traveling just slightly out of the downtown area, there's just so much to see and do. But, I want to go back there. I want to spend more time in the downtown area. I'm into cities. The nightlife there is just fantastic. You can sit out at restaurants, which cost you a fraction of what they would back home in the UK. And you can sit there, you look over the river, there's families out, there's old people walking around, there's young people doing their stuff. They've got bars for the younger people. They've got tea houses for the older people. It's just such a great vibe. It's so relaxing. It's just a lovely city. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee. Listen, Charles, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us today, and keep us updated with all these YouTubers and tourists getting into ChongQing, because people are fired up. They want to go to ChongQing. You're going to be real busy real soon. So
and also, one thing to add, among the YouTubers here, right? Like the Kirk and Lee, they are already been here, and the Jayo Nation already here. And we all on our IChongQing channel, YouTube channel, we have interview with them, a talk show with them. We have sometimes did a travel guide episode in ChongQing together with them. That's quite interesting. If you guys interested, just go to the channel to check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charles. We're going to let you go. Thank you for coming on today. You guys have an awesome day there in ChongQing. Yeah.
Thank you very much for bringing me here. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Hey guys, it's only us three left. There was a comment on the screen right now.
Can I address a couple of things here, Jerry? Well,
I need to do some super chats too.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's address the super chats, and then we go to a serious question, a little bit back into politics again. Okay.
Francisco Rivera. In the United States, the buildings are from the 70s, and they hire a Mexican guy to give the building a little paint, and that's what's new here. I agree. Hakanumatata Lee. There's a guy called Ben from Maryland. MN, what's that? Montana? Anyway, who makes nice craft beer in ChongQing. Yes. And then I get, okay, Colin a broadcast. Thanks for the super chat, Colin. He goes 500 plus for a 460 character question. Okay. And Randy, she says, Miranda, my daughter, she says, my nickname for her is Randy. She says, I don't get that. so it goes on here. Philip Chang, thanks. This has actually been a question on my mind, and this is from Colin. Since the whole COVID thing, have any of you ever, every one of you, ever been subjected to racism, like you cannot book a room at a hotel? Never with a room at a hotel, but I did try to get into a park one time, and I didn't have a QR code. I don't think they would have accepted that at that park, because the security was basically uneducated and whatever. They expected me to show them a document from the government to go into the park. I don't think it was really racism. I think it was just maybe not knowing the rules, not understanding what to expect from a foreigner. Getting on the airplane coming from ChongQing back to Nanning, one of the steward guys on the airplane came up and asked, have I been in China, or was I from outside China? It's sort of a dumb question, just for the fact that if you're outside China, you're not coming into China, because there's no foreigners unless it's a special, but I'm not that special. You know what I mean? So no, I haven't had any racism. I have had people that aren't really understanding what's going on, and maybe overcautious about it. But under the circumstances and seeing what else is going around the world, especially in places like the United States and Canada, it's not doing a very good job with our population either. I can see that being cautious is a good thing, and that's why China is in a position like it is right now. That we can basically walk around without masks. We can, we can go to the store, we can go to the movie, we can go out for supper at our local favorite restaurants and not have to worry about it because of the caution that was put into place here in China. So, Colin, no racism. Booking into hotels is maybe a little bit more difficult. You need the travel app, and you need the Green Code app to get into the hotels in some places. But other than that, no, everything is basically the same as it always has been.
Nice.
Lee,
Thank you. I want to bring it over to Lee. Lee, are you still online, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear
cool.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your screen is frozen, so I'm going to let you go in anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, I've had, me and Ollie, I have had a few issues. Ollie has been refused to a couple of bars and nightclubs here in Shenzhen. And when we were traveling in Shanghai in the just after COVID back in April, we had a couple of issues at a couple of hotels where they weren't accepting foreigners. Now, my take on it is that it's not so much racist, it's just people were ignorant to the fact that I think at one point they thought that, COVID was pretty much under control here in China, but it was raging outside of China. And I think there was a lot of nervousness about foreigners in general, because especially the sort of, more not so well educated people. We went to a rural area and we caused a bit of alarm amongst sort of the local people there, simply because I think they thought we may have been foreigners. They didn't know whether we'd entered China yesterday or 6 months ago. So I think that was the issue. But yeah, we have experienced small problems. Not now. I can totally 100% now. We've been to Shanghai. I've been to Chengdu. I've been to Chongqing. I've been to Changsha. No issues whatsoever. Well, you got to remember that was back in sort of April when it was still a bit more of an issue. While I'm on, I just want to respond to a few super chats and stickers, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Okay,
please.
so
look, I'm keeping it on this screen because your screen is frozen.
Yeah,
but we can hear you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear.
That. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'll have to check that out in a minute. Okay, so from PK to the panel, thank you. No hate, no racism in this world. Appreciate diversity. Absolutely agree with that. Michael Liu, 10 Canadian dollars super sticker. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate the support from the channel. It helps us a massive amount. Sam Seto, Gulf of Tonkin, again, 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. Li Yang, keep it up, guys. Thank you very much, Li Yang. And let me just see if I've got any more. I think that might be all of them at the moment. But hang on, what do we have here? No, Lin Chow. It would be good business broadcasting discussions of positive sides of China. Those who pro-China will love it. I love it because I know it's true. Yeah, well, we do try to be as, it's not saying there are not negative things here in China. Of course there are. Every country has negative things, but there are a massive amount of positive things to talk about in China. And the DHG1234 in Chongqing, the weather is hot, the food is hot, and the girls are hot. Yeah, I can 100% agree with that as well. Yeah, and so that's good. I'll try to sort out my camera issue now, so I might go out of the stream, and you'll have to join me back in.
Cool. I'm going to go on.
I got one question. If Colin's still watching, he made a comment: $500 plus for a 460 character question. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you could.
I have no clue. But here's the thing: we're gonna do live call-ins now. So maybe you can call in if you want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
call in.
That's it. Exactly, guys. Listen, this is the end of the show. This final segment where you have the chance to call in and speak to us. Listen. You can come onto the show. You can ask the panel anything you want. We will talk to you. We will respond accordingly. Please keep it civil. If you call in backstage, Wesley is backstage in the studio. You'll have to show your picture that you are not a robot or people, I don't know, that's naked and just go on the show and show your naked body or whatever.
Well, it depends on if she's a girl from ChongQing.
I was waiting for that one. And Wesley will bring you into the stream. So without letting you guys wait so long, I'm going to drop the link in the side chat right now. You click on it, it will bring you to the studio, and you guys can call in and speak to us about anything. At this moment, I want to tell everybody thank you for all the super chats so far. Thank you for all the donations, and thank you for all the likes. This is really important, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make it clear that you guys go to all our channels and hit that like button. We have a step behind the rest of the other YouTubers because we do streaming and YouTube videos with Inside China. So with your help, with that clicking the like button and share buttons, it helps our channels a lot. I want you guys to call in. Did you see the link? Can you click on the link? Let us know that you can call in. While we wait, Wesley, maybe you can also drop the link. I think there's some problem from my end. Maybe Wesley can drop the link.
While we're waiting, can I read BBB2? Please buy Guilao some wine or beer. He will be happier. 666. Sounds like the mark of the devil to me, and I will spend it on beer. I promise.
Leo.
Yeah, exactly. Yo.
Okay, guys. So the link is in the side chat. You can click on it. It will bring you to the studio. You can call in and speak to us. We have a caller. He's backstage. Please interact with Wesley. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm gonna bring him into the stream, and I think this guy was on the stream before. But let's bring him in. Hey, Martin, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, guys.
Hi, Martin. Yeah,
I was here a few weeks ago. Love your show.
Thank you.
Awesome, buddy. Listen, where are you calling from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Crazy place to be.
Nice. What time is it over there?
About 9 p.m. All the kids are asleep. Wife's asleep. So now I got about 2 hours to myself all week right now.
Oh, man, I feel you. I feel you. With kids, it's difficult, man. Listen, Martin, this is your time. Fire away. We've got the Guilao, the great Guilao 60 on the side, and the king of YouTube videos. We've got the Barrett on just underneath him. It's your chance, buddy. Go ahead, ask your questions.
Honestly, I thought I'd just keep it a little fun. Just wondering, what is your favorite beer in China? For me, I love how weak and gassy the beers are in China because I can drink them all day. The next day, I don't feel hungover, and I never gain any weight. What about you guys?
Cool. Guilao, take it away.
I like to feel that way. There's a number of different beers. Li Chen beer is my favorite Chinese beer. Chinese beers are not world-class beers.
No.
But they do sell lots of different beers. They got German beers and they got American beers. They got no Canadian beer. I just don't know why they don't have any Canadian beer. They could get some Kokanee or some Sneaky Weasel over here. I would buy that out of Walmart. But I have been reduced to drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon on a regular basis here in China. Because it's sold at Walmart. It's anywhere between 3.8 to 4.8 RMB for a big bottle, but because it's weaker than your Western beer, I usually throw a couple of brandies in there, and just sort of spice it up. And yeah, I don't gain any weight from it either. It's really weird.
Okay, even awesome. I feel the Budweiser in China, it ain't the same as it is in the U.S.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, I want to move over to Lee here. Lee, can you answer him? What's your favorite beer here?
Okay, so I'm not a big beer drinker, but I like the sort of what I would suggest is the national beer of China, Qingdao. And obviously, you know a lot about that, Jerry, being from Qingdao. But I also like Harbin beer. But as I say, I'm not a big beer drinker. My favorite drink is the good old Jack Daniels whiskey, and they do a honey blend called Jack Daniels Honey, and I really like that because it's sweet. I have that with a Coke and ice, and that's my favorite. But if I've got to go for one favorite Chinese beer, it would be Qingdao beer.
Oh yeah, well done. And that's my favorite beer as well. So by the way, Martin, to answer you that. I drink buckets and buckets of those stuff. But
yeah, the Qingdao they sell in the U.S. here at the local liquor store. It's way stronger than the imported stuff. Way stronger than the stuff you buy in China.
Absolutely,
good stuff either way. So
absolutely, it's the same as that Stella Artois in England. It's a French beer, but let me tell you, if you drink that stuff, it's like drinking brandy. It knocks you out, brother. Listen, is there anything else you would like to ask the panel or talk on this show? Because we have a lot of callers coming in right now.
Nah, I just thought I'd kind of mix it up a little bit, talk about beer, one of my favorite things in the world, aside from my family and my job. Here's number 3. Yeah.
Man, it's such an honor having you on the show, Martin. Seriously,
hey guys,
thank
take
you
care.
for
Keep
always.
Up the good work.
Thank you, Martin. Take care, man.
And I want to say thank you for always watching the shows, Martin. You are seriously a legend, buddy.
All right,
and hey, good luck over there in the US, buddy. Next one, we're going to bring in a guy called Leo. Leo, how are you doing, bro?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing? Where are you calling from, Leo?
I'm calling from Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada. So way low. I've been to Saskatchewan as well, and I always watch you guys, and it's great to see the show and stuff.
Oh, so cool.
I spent some time out there in Cornwallis when I was in boot camp back in 1977.
Oh, were you in the forces?
Yeah, I was back. I was August. I think it was August 1st of 1977. I was sent to Cornwallis for 11 weeks of boot camp down by Digby. It's So that's only a couple years ago.
I'm actually I'm actually in the Air Force here, but I love watching you guys. Because I'm from China originally, Beijing, and just getting like different views from you guys is it's really refreshing, right?
Awesome. Listen, buddy, do you have any question for the panel? We have a super panel here, especially these two guys next to me. Please go ahead. Any question, or what would you like to say? What would you like to add to the show today? Because this is your turn, buddy.
Yeah, well, I was just actually wondering because, obviously we can't go back to China now from Canada because of the rules and stuff. And since China's pretty much recovered from the virus, basically I was thinking about that, like given what's happened recently, like maybe in the future I might want to go back to China. So I was just wondering, like, for Canadian passport holders, or is it easy to get set up in China, like cost of living, jobs, stuff like that?
Well, that's an easy one. I'm going to give this one to Kirk because he's been doing visas. So, and after that, I would let Kirk answer you with the visas, and then I'm going to go with cost and livings with Lee. Is that okay?
Great. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, Leo, I
Awesome.
think it all depends on where you are in China, because you see, Nanning, where I live right now, it was a tier 3 and just changed to a tier 2 city. So living costs are a lot less here than they would be in a place where like Li is in Shenzhen, where everything is it's more of a metropolitan type area of China, and the cost is higher, just like Beijing or Shanghai or
Right.
Guangzhou. Well, maybe not so Guangzhou so much, but because we own our home, so we don't have to rent apartments or anything like that. We go out and eat. We never eat breakfast at home. We go out and eat supper. We travel around. We do basically whatever we want, and we very seldom spend more than 10,000 RMB, which is about 2,000 Canadian dollars a month. So being a retired person in China, I'm banking money. You know what I mean? My retirement makes more than what I spend in China. So when I go back to Canada, I can actually afford to drink beer there.
Yeah, nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lee, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, I would say here in Shenzhen is one of the more expensive cities. It's a first-tier city. The salaries are somewhat higher here than a lot of other cities in China. But compared to the UK, where I come from, it's much, much cheaper to live here. So I rent an apartment, and I'm sort of not right in the center, but I'm not far out of the center. That is probably less than half of what I'd pay in the UK. And something else that's really interesting here. So in the UK, things like electricity, gas, water, they've all been taken over by private companies who are more interested in profit. So if I take electricity, it's less than half here to purchase electricity use than what it is in the UK. If you have a car, gas is much cheaper. The only things that I find more expensive here than the UK is if I want to buy kind of Western style food.
Yeah.
So imported goods here are kind of expensive, especially if it's luxury goods, because there's quite a large tax. But sort of everyday things here, like rice, toothpaste, all your basic vegetables and fruit are much cheaper than the UK and also the US, I believe. So it is one of the more expensive cities, but it's still, I think, a lot cheaper than the US or the UK.
Okay. Absolutely. And I just want to add to it. Here in Qingdao, things are super cheap, man. The cool thing about Qingdao is it's not a first-tier city, but it's basically a first-tier city with the I, if it makes sense, right? It's not on paper, but it's actually. And the cool thing about that is everything is dead cheap because it's graded as a second-tier city. So you wanna go look into Qingdao as well. It's next to you. I mean, man, you're right next to the sea. Taxis are cheap. Apartments are cheap.
It looks amazing, man.
Yeah,
thank you, Lee. And Lee
watched some
Barrett
of your videos.
Yeah, Lee
Amazing.
and Guala will soon be visiting here. So yeah, man, you want to look into cities like that. Beautiful scenery. I will say a second-tier city, to be kind of honest, because that's a sweet spot for me. Because it gives you that first-tier city, but it downgrades the money value, or not money value, but it's cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents. Hey, listen,
So
Leo,
you in Greenwood?
No, I'm in Shearwater, near Halifax. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. My uncle, my mother's brother, was stationed in Greenwood. He's old now and retired, but he used to fly the Argus
Aurora
plane. Aurora, okay. Yeah. They were submarine hunters.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
he was a major.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's the helicopters in Shearwater here. The Sea King. It used to be the Sea King.
Oh yeah. For search and rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Leo. Is there anything?
Just having fun.
Is there anything you would like to tell the viewers just before I let you go? I'm going to put you on full screen. This is your final minute, brother. Say anything you'd like.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I really like the show. I like the discussion. I think it's like a healthy debate to have, especially nowadays. And keep up the good work. And next time I come visit, I think if you guys are around, I definitely, it'd be really fun to meet up or something like that.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Leo. Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leo.
You take care there in Canada. Cheers, buddy. I'm going to bring up a final caller because time is catching us here. I see There's another guy here. Game, you were here last time. It's also a regular caller. Hey, always good to have you on the show.
Hi,
Game, how
Game.
are you doing today? Where are you calling from again?
Malaysia. So
Malaysia.
I'm going to greet you guys in like 3 Chinese dialects first before I begin. 大家好.
Okay, cool.
大家好. 大家好. So that's in Mandarin, Hokkien.
Okay.
Hokkien is Taiwanese, it's the same thing. They call it Taiwanese, but it's actually Hokkien. No, it's from the Fujian province, Thailand Fujian province, and Cantonese. So I've noticed, like most of the time, when we're talking about, you guys are talking about addressing the issues with the Western media and the untruths against China, right? So my question for Lee Barrett specifically is, do you think that they are doing this, the Western media is doing this intentionally, or they are misled, or it's just incompetence that they don't do their due diligence?
I think it's a mixture of all of those. I think one, journalists don't do due diligence anymore. I think, if you go back 20, 30 years, journalists were proper journalists. Organizations would have had journalists stationed in various parts of the world. I think nowadays they just pick up a story and run with it. And I think they're not actually interested in telling the truth anymore. I think they're interested in revenue. So it's very revenue driven. So, they will run with stories regardless of whether they're true or not. That will generate revenue for them. I think there's an intention to attack China because they now see China as a competitor where, I don't really believe they're interested in the Uyghurs or the people of Hong Kong or any other things that they bring up. They just use it to stir up trouble because they want to attack China because they feel it's now a competitor, whereas 10 years ago I think they didn't see it as a competitor. So that's sort of my take on it, but I do think it's intentional. I think they know what they're doing, and I think they're part of the system with their governments to do that. There's a lot of suggestion that the CIA are very involved in pushing media, and if you look back in time, there was a thing called Operation Mockingbird where the CIA are pushing their own narrative through the media, and I think that's at play again, possibly.
That's a great answer.
I think it also has a political agenda. If you look at, say, Fox News, well, it's sort of backed by the Republicans, or people that are Republicans own Fox News, and you get to the CNN. Well, somebody that's a rich guy, Democrat, owns CNN. So so there's that political push from these news outlets to push their agendas on the people of the United States or the world. So I think that's got a lot to do with why you see mainstream media throwing all this rhetoric around. It's politically based. It helps get presidents elected.
Absolutely. Who controls the media controls the mind. Isn't that a saying from way back? I want to go with Kirk and with Lee on this game. It's absolutely, it's organizations these days. I believe journalism is dead, my brother. This has all been organized and set up to push certain narratives. And I would suspect that YouTube and social media and places like this is the real threat to fake news in this world, my friend. Let me tell you that. Because you can get huge voices or big, and you can generate a voice on YouTube if you really want to. And people don't really like that.
But they're also censoring YouTube. Come on. I mean, you guys know that as well as I do. They do suppress certain channels. They do censor them, about things that they don't want to hear. They want. I especially from people that are making China videos. Not the China Uncensored people, obviously. That gets promoted. But you guys, channels about subscribers being deleted and so forth. So they are doing that. Don't forget that Google was the CIA was in the inception of Google itself from the very start. So come on. If you were the CIA,
no, you are right. You are 100% right. I mean, did you watch when the big tech company CEOs testified before the House? Did you see it? It was in this week where they spoke to. They spoke to Jim Cook. They obviously is Mark Zuckerberg. What's his name from Google? Tai Chai or what? That guy. They spoke to all these guys, and they were actually nailing them in that hearing about censorship. So you're 100% right, but I also feel there are there's definitely pushback against censorship from America, which is good for us because we do it on an American platform. So if they win the battle over there, they can't censor us anymore, although they do. But the cool thing is there's so many platforms already. So if they censor you on this one, you quickly jump to Twitter. If they censor you there, you jump to another one. It's like they can't catch you, my brother. I feel social media is the real threat to mainstream media, regardless of censorship. But you are right. It's frustrating trying to get a message out. And, they try to cut your views. It happened to one of Lee's videos a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
It happened to one of his. You want to tell us about it again, Lee? Because that is just
So I had a Huawei video that talked about the UK banning Huawei, the government banning Huawei in the UK. And from that video, I saw a lot of the comments. There was a lot of misunderstanding about what Huawei do. So I made a follow-up video, and it was talking about how Huawei are a hardware vendor. It's they don't control the data, they don't control the network. They simply supply the hardware, and the stats on that video initially were better than the stats on the first video, yet it didn't get promoted at all. And I even had a lot of viewers say they didn't even get a notification on that video. And that video has done nothing. It's kind of died a death on YouTube. And I'm very suspicious that there was something at play there. Absolutely.
No,
okay, cool.
They do that. I've been going through about 3 months of I'll look in the morning and I'll have 100 more subscribers in the morning than I do in the afternoon. And this is an ongoing thing with my channel because I do this as a hobby. I really don't care. It's the views, it's the people that show up for shows like this that really crank my turn type thing rather than the subscriber base that I have. If people want to watch my stuff, they know where I am. They don't have to be a subscriber. They throttle our channels as pro China YouTubers.
Yeah, go ahead, Game.
I want to point out something pretty ironic. Okay, it is called YouTube. The whole idea is it's you, the viewers, the audience that are providing content for the channel. Of course, Google, don't be evil. Google brought it up, and now it's like part of like the whole Google machinery. Right. And let me tell you something, right? If you're searching for something, even with the exact title of the video you're looking for on Google, you wouldn't find it. I mean, not on Google or on YouTube itself. You wouldn't find it.
It won't show up. Yeah,
they will promote all the mainstream media from Fox News, CNBC, CNN, the Guardian News, whatever. And you bump those YouTube, some of the content creators, like independent content creators, way down that you can't find it. And the only way you can find it, even with the exact title wordings, of the title, is to include the quotation marks. And if you want to find videos that are made from like regular people and not, the mainstream media that YouTube, it's supposed to promote, because they are now all promoting mainstream media. If you're looking for stuff, you got to look for it outside YouTube. So go to a search engine, search YouTube, and then what you're looking for, and then you might find it. So I just want to say that that's so ironic.
Absolutely, I agree.
That's good.
I just have a couple of quick super chats. Stephen Jang, one last super chat to wrap up today's talk. And GM Lai, keep it up, guys. Thank you for that. And there's one more here, but I've just reading some breaking news that Trump apparently has just said that he's going to pass an executive order to ban TikTok in the US by as soon as Saturday.
Wow.
So this is like, holy, what is this guy doing? It's just, I believe Microsoft are in talks to purchase it.
Right.
Because obviously it's a massive platform in the States, but this is, they're doing this on what? National security. It's just bullshit. That is, it's just utter bullshit. They just don't want competition because it's the first Chinese app that has challenged the dominance of the social media apps in the US. You know, it's all right for the US. Oh, well, we control all the social media all around the world. But as soon as another country sort of starts to sort of tread on that ground, oh, national security, we need to ban it quickly. You know, it's just
or when they ban it, then it's worth less, so Microsoft can pay less for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in China now, they may take off TikTok, but then you've got your Weibos and you've got your Tupiaos and you've got your Billies and you've got, you know, all of these things. You can't put that back in the bag. There's just no way. The China's out there. They're building these things and they're building them better. They're building them faster. They've got lots of brain power here in China, and you know, being from Shenzhen, you should know that Silicon Valley of China, and it's taking over, and it scares the hell out of them. Oh, but while I'm talking, Martin Peterson, Kurt, you will only be served Taiwan beer or Carlsberg beer whenever you get over here. Obviously, thanks for the super chat, Martin. And yeah, well, Taiwan beer, I don't know if that Carlsberg is not bad. And then MI360GO, here's to you guys. Thanks for the super chat. Boy, there's been a lot of people. It's been a busy show this time, and I really appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely, and that is where I want to stop it actually right now. On this high note, I want to say thank you for Game calling in. Today I want to do something different.
Interesting.
Game. Today I want to do something different. Today you're going to be on the show while we do the roundup. So I want you, as the guest on our show, to start by saying, guys, thank you for watching the show, and you're going to do the roundup for us. So you are the host right now on the Let's Talk China show. Game, take it away.
Okay. Well, me? You're talking about me, right?
Yes. You are the host. You are the host.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for showing up, audience, and you guys as well on the panel. And thanks for taking my call. Have a good day. Or night.
Cool. Thank you so much. So I'm going to move to Lee. Lee, what's happening on your channel this week? Quickly, what is happening? What can we expect, sir?
Okay, so just quickly a shout out to Arthur Larson for the super chat, and actually this is a shout out to New Moves. New Moves has just done a video on Xinjiang when he was actually there, go and have a look at that. And that's what Arthur Larson is saying. Watch New Moves' Xinjiang video before it's censored. So go over to New Moves channel. He's done a video on Xinjiang. Okay, so what's happening? Monday we have got the next ChongQing video happening. That's a great one. It's a food-based one. So all you foodies out there, you'll like that, especially Karen Shen. Karen's been asking us to do food videos for a while. So this is one for you, Karen. And we are then going to be leaving Shenzhen again on Tuesday, but it's a little bit of a secret what we're doing. So keep tuned. We've got maybe next week the first video of Ollie's visit to Xi'an coming. And then later in the week, I'm looking at trying to get another talk video together. But don't forget to check out Alex at Reporterfy's videos on the Maldives. They're pretty cool. Keep an eye on Jerry. He's always got some cool live streams coming. And I'm sure Guelo has got some more ChongQing videos coming later this week too.
Awesome. Thank you, Lee. Guelo, moving on to you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Thank you. Really appreciate all the support for the channel.
Absolutely. Guelo, go ahead. Shoot us. What's happening?
Yeah, tomorrow is a day off for me. I do have a video coming out tomorrow morning. But on Monday, we're back on the road again. We're back with China Radio International to the Vietnamese border and parts unknown, doing some more travel videos, which is great fun. I enjoy those a lot. I've got a lot more ChongQing videos coming out in the next week. Also, that's all we did there was video. When I got back, I edited, and everything is just basically ready to go. And stuff. So we're going to have some more interesting stuff. It's going to be. I'm going to have some political stuff coming out here in the next couple of weeks. Also, some rebuttals to some of the haters out there. I can't just stick to tour videos and the Saw stuff. I gotta call people on the rhetoric also. I'd like to thank Francisco Rivera. Again, the country of the free is more of a communist country. People aren't really free. They are controlled by the government one way or the other. I think that's basically true anywhere in the world, Francisco. But you can see it in the United States, definitely, maybe more lately than it has been in the past. But more of the same stuff from my channel. It's always on a positive note, trying to show the good side of China, because there's enough people out there showing the bad side of China. We don't need any more of that sort of rebuttal. The rhetoric, and being a social media platform as my channel is. Trying to show the other side, the soft side, the good side of China, where you're not going to get that on mainstream media, and so you'll see a lot more of that coming up.
Cool. Thank you, Kirk. And now it's my turn, guys. I want to say thank you to each and everyone. Hey, listen, if you are wondering where the hell is Alex, Reporterfy Media and Travel, do not worry. I was just filling in for him today. He will be back next week and rocking and rolling the streams again for you guys. We wish him a speedy recovery. All the people that tuned in from all the channels, Lee Barrett, Guilo, Shao, Cyrus, all the channels, thank you so much for coming to support us. We seriously appreciate that. Thank you for all them super chats and also the donations, guys. We do appreciate that. But the most important thing is thank you for being who you are. You guys rock and roll for supporting us. That's pretty damn awesome. Listen, on my channel, I'm going to release some videos. I just released a video last night about is China the villain or the victim? You can go check it out, see what you think. Comment, leave your comment in the comment section. There's always war in my comment sections. Go enjoy yourselves there. Listen, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the Let's Talk China show every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Beijing time. You want to be here. There will be call-ins more on this show. Alex, Reporterfy Media, the real host of this show, will be back next week. And he will definitely rock and roll. The great Kirk, Guilo60 in the corner, the king of videos, Lee Barrett, and me, Jerry. We wish you all best of luck wherever you're watching from. See you guys next time. Bye for now.
As always,
Thanks,
thank you all for your support. Take care for now.